All right, boys and girls, we're on our final chapter, our long-awaited chapter 18 of The Secret of Smith's Hill. This chapter should hold all of the answers to our questions and should be the resolution to our story. Our headline reads, "A grateful ghost sends her thanks." The story so far, the twins have told their parents they think the shed is being built over Francis Smith's grave, and the librarian seems to agree. But is that really true? The Clavers hurried outside to meet Sam and his crew. "Morning all," Sam said. "We're all set to pour." "Oh no, not again," he groaned, staring at the deep holes Kelly and James had dug the night before. "Sam," said Dad, "the twins may have found something. Could your crew dig a bit more in this corner?" "Actually," Mom said, "the twins think they may have found a historic grave." Sam turned pale. "A grave? There's no way I'll disturb anyone's grave." "That's the point, Sam," Dad told him. "If it's really there, we'll have to move this shed." Sam groaned again. "That'll cost you plenty, Mr. Claver. Tearing all this down, filling it in." "Couldn't we just cut off this corner of the shed?" Kelly suggested. "Maybe we could," Sam grinned. "It'd be an odd-looking shed, but kind of fun to build, a challenge." "Well done, Kelly," Dad whispered. "Let's see if the kids are right," he said to Sam. The Clavers watched anxiously while Sam and a crew member named Hank cautiously scraped the dirt away from the bottoms of the holes Kelly and James had dug. "You're right," Sam said a few minutes later from inside the foundation where Kelly had dug. "There's something here." "Here too," said Hank from where James had dug. "Feels softish, like wood." "Looks like a box," said Sam. "Eureka!" shouted Hank. "Looks mighty like a coffin to me." "It's a coffin, all right," Sam said nervously. "Looks like it's got a nameplate." Kelly grabbed James's arm and the Clavers all leaned forward. "What's the name on it?" Kelly asked. Hank scraped more dirt away on his side. "I'll be darned. Francis Smith, it says. Why, that's the grave whose stone vanished years ago." Sam nodded solemnly. "Historical Society'll be mighty interested in this, I bet." Dad put one hand on Kelly's shoulder and the other on James's. "It looks as if Mom and I owe you two kids an apology. At least part of one. We still don't know about the other odd goings-on." "Odd goings-on?" asked Hank. "What odd goings-on?" "Knocks and crashes and broken dishes," Kelly said. "And words spelled out with our little brother's blocks," James added. "Spelled wrong." Hank shuddered. Ding, ding, ding. "My grandmother," he said, "told me that after that gravestone disappeared, there were odd noises up here at night. She said most folks thought it was Francis Smith's ghost. I never put much stock in that, but if you've had trouble..." "How interesting," Mom said hastily. Ding, ding, ding. "It's amazing how superstitions grow." "Anyway," said Dad, just as hastily. Ding, ding, ding. "I think we've seen enough. Let's fill in the holes. And Sam, could you really just cut off this corner like my daughter said?" Sam nodded. "Okay," Dad said. "No time like the present, right?" Top of the third column. "Right. Come on, Hank, the rest of you, let's do it." While Sam and his crew repaired the grave and adjusted the foundation, Kelly and James made a wooden marker saying, "Francis Smith, died 1782 of a broken heart." Very carefully, they put it up over the coffin. That night, Mom made Kelly's favorite roast chicken with James's favorite stuffing, and she baked their favorite chocolate cake for dessert. Dad toasted them with his coffee cup. "To the twins," he said, "who were trying to help after all." He winked at Mom. "I think we've got a couple of good ghosts," he said, "who had to resort to supernatural tactics to get us old folks to sit up and take notice." "Do you?" Mom winked back. "I bet you might just be right." "You'd think," Kelly said to James later, that they'd have realized the first crash came long before we could possibly have suspected about the grave. Yeah, you would, James said, but let's not bother them with details. At least they aren't mad at us anymore. So boys and girls, let's stop for a second. Does it sound to you like Mom and Dad really believe in the ghost of Frances Smith? Or do they think Kelly and James were playing the pranks to try to get Mom and Dad to believe that there was a ghost so they would move the shed from over the grave? To me, it sounds like Mom and Dad don't really believe in the ghosts and they think it was James and Kelly, but they're not angry anymore. I can infer that from what I just read. I can figure it out. At least they're not mad at us anymore. The twins and their parents spent a quiet, friendly evening playing Monopoly. James won again, while Corey played on the floor with his alphabet blocks. He left them scattered, ding, 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 this time instead of in a tower. But the next morning when Kelly and James came downstairs, some of the blocks were neatly arranged in a line on the floor saying, T-A-N-K-U, tank you? That was the last the Clavers heard of Frances Smith. But once the diary had been made legible again, tourists occasionally came to look at her grave and read her story. So boys and girls, legible means readable. Once the diary had been made able to be read again, readable. Remember, they had to get the pages fixed that were all stuck together. So, boys and girls, what can we infer thank you must mean? Yep, it's most likely thank you. And Frances Smith left them alone because her injustice had been fixed. It had been righted. All right, hope you guys enjoyed The Secret of Smith's Hill. Now answer your final questions and use the text for evidence.